Facing the menacing monstrous nightmare, Hiccup suddenly dropped the weapon in his hand, then put down his shield. This was dragon training. One wrong move, and Hiccup could lose his life. Was Hiccup really going to fight this dragon barehanded? Just as everyone looked unexpectedly, Hiccup began to comfort Hook Fang. It seems that Hiccup has chosen a gentle strategy. To show his sincerity, he even took off his helmet. It turns out that last night, Toothless brought Hiccup to a group of dragons. Hiccup tried to leave, but Toothless refused. It seems that some invisible force is driving the dragon herd forward, and many of the dragons have prey in their claws. Hiccup believed that the dragons were taking the food to a certain place. After flying for an unknown amount of time, a huge volcano appeared in front of the two of them. Toothless led them into the interior of the mountain. Hiccup discovered that this was the dragon's nest that his father had been searching for. Crossing the scorching lava sea, Toothless entered a cave and hid. To their shock, countless dragons threw the prey they had caught into the lava. At first, they didn't understand why, until a thunder drum spat out a small fish from its mouth and stood there proudly. This scene frightened all the dragons into trembling. At that moment, Hiccup finally realized that there was a colossal creature lurking in the dragon's nest. The dragons were constantly attacking villages to raid livestock to feed the Dragon King. After learning this truth, Astrid wanted to return to the tribe to tell the chieftain. Perhaps this could ease the relationship between humans and dragons. However, Hiccup stopped him. Human hatred had been building for too long. It was impossible to change the fate of both races based on their words alone. Hiccup suddenly thought of tomorrow's dragon training. Perhaps that would be an opportunity. Astrid rewarded him for this. Seeing the other person kiss Hiccup, Toothless showed a look of contempt. To let people understand the true nature of dragons, after placing the helmet on the ground, Hiccup extended his palm, and Hook Fang did not resist. This left the others stunned. They had fought against evil dragons their entire lives and had never seen such a situation. Stoic, seeing this, made the decision to end the competition. Hook Fang was instantly startled. It roared toward the sky, preparing to attack. Hiccup was forced to flee. However, Hook Fang had no intention of letting him go. Hook Fang breathed a flame, stopping Hiccup's movement. Toothless seemed to sense that Hiccup was in danger. It climbed up the rock wall with all its might and rushed toward the tribe. As Hook Fang pursued relentlessly, Astrid immediately used her giant axe to pry open the door and rushed into the arena, ignoring Stoic's attempts to stop her. She quickly grabbed a hammer and struck the fire-breathing monster without hesitation. After this distraction, Hiccup temporarily escaped danger. Hook Fang attacked Astrid, but she managed to dodge it in time. Hiccup, however, was not so lucky. Just as Hiccup was about to meet his end at the door, Toothless appeared. Toothless engaged in a life-and-death struggle with Hook Fang. Although Hook Fang had the advantage due to his massive size, Toothless used his agile movements to bite Hook Fang's neck. No matter how much Hook Fang struggled, Toothless refused to let go. Realizing the black dragon was no pushover, Hook Fang reluctantly retreated back into the cage. Hiccup rushed over to Toothless, trying to get it to escape, but it was already too late. The brave Viking warriors swarmed in, eager to be the first to kill Toothless, but they couldn't get close to it. Toothless did not wish to harm the humans before him. At this moment, Stoic joined the battle. As the chieftain, he possessed strength rivaling that of a dragon. As he was knocked down, he seized the opportunity to subdue Toothless. However, Toothless suddenly flipped over, pinning him beneath its body. Toothless was about to unleash his dragon flame, but Hiccup stopped it. As the sound faded, the surrounding crowd rushed forward and pinned Toothless beneath them. Toothless was thus captured. Stoic scolded Hiccup and reminded him that his mother had been killed by a dragon years ago. Hiccup had inadvertently revealed the location of the dragon's nest. Stoic immediately decided to lead the army to attack the dragon's nest. Hiccup tried to persuade Stoic not to go to the dragon's nest. The dragons inside the nest were not something the Vikings could contend with. But Stoic wouldn't listen. The one thing he wanted most in life was to destroy the dragon's nest. Nothing could stop his resolve. Stoic then bound Toothless tightly and placed him at the bow of the ship to serve as a compass, then led the army toward the dragon's nest. After a long time, they finally reached the island where the dragon's nest was located. Stoic immediately organized the army to build defensive fortifications and set up massive catapults behind them. After a passionate speech, Stoic issued the order to attack. Countless boulders pounded the mountain. Under the relentless bombardment, a large hole was blasted into the mountain. Stoic ordered the rear to launch a fireball. The fireball illuminated the inside of the hole upon impact. Upon discovering countless dragons inside the cave, Stoic roared in anger and charged forward to fight. However, the dragons inside the cave simply flew out of the nest as if they were afraid of something. At this moment, Toothless also felt uneasy. Once everything had calmed down, Everyone thought they had won. Little did they know that they were about to encounter the most terrifying scene of their lives.